Star Wars Eclipse was announced way back in December 2021 at the Game Awards, and since then there has been basically no official news on it besides the odd tidbit in an interview that kind of talks about stuff we already know about. But last week we did finally get an update on the game, so in today's video I'll be going over all of that for you guys. But before I do get into it, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on so that you never miss a piece of Star Wars Eclipse news. So like I said, Eclipse was announced in 2021, and just as a recap, the game is going to be an action-adventure game set in the High Republic era of Star Wars, where we'll get to play as multiple characters in a story that we can ultimately decide what happens, so it should be very interesting and incredibly replayable. So the news update on the game comes from the Tokyo Games show from last week, where IGN interviewed the Vice President of Marketing for Quantic Dream, and she stated that the game is very much alive, but it's just not ready yet, and that is ultimately why we haven't really heard anything. Now this isn't really a surprise to me at all, because the trailer we received was a CGI trailer created by a third-party CGI company, so I would imagine that at the stage the trailer released, the game was in an immensely early production phase, and if the leaks are anything to go by, which from Tom Henderson they usually are, then the game won't be releasing until 2026 or 2027 at the earliest, so even from now we are still some years away from launch, which also means that we're still likely a few years away until we actually see anything concrete about the game. So whilst that is a shame to know that we are still so long away from anything, it is always positive to see an update like this about it. Now that wasn't the only thing said in the interview, because Lisa Pence, the QD Vice President of Marketing, said that the game has no game over, anyone can die and anything can happen, the story will just continue. Now we may have already known this, but it was probably said in a different way, I just cannot fully remember honestly, as it has just been that long, but I think that is a really cool and exciting prospect, as it essentially means that the story could be different every single time we play, which is really exciting. What this does mean though, especially from a canon perspective, is it won't necessarily be easy to identify what the canon story actually is. Obviously for many out there that isn't an issue, because loads of people have their own head canon or they just don't really care about the canon, and I totally get that, but for me as someone who likes to know what the official canon storyline is, I'm hoping that we will be able to get something in the game to help us identify what that is, or at least someone could give us something after the game has been released to show what it is in terms of the decision making or anything else that goes on in the game. Anyway guys, that is all of the latest news that we have on Star Wars Eclipse right now. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel to stay up to date with the game, as I'll be bringing you the news as soon as possible. That is it from me today though. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.